We just want to go through very quickly about political cartoons. So if you see cartoons like this, most likely it's against whatever issue, and you must remember to include the words sarcasm, satire, or things like irony, right, exaggeration. And when you do cartoons, you have to explain the symbolism very clearly. Okay, so in this case, talking about globalization, you see four men, fat men, toasting, and they say, let's drink a toast to Singapore making it top 10 expensive cities in the world. We will be number one. Our policies are working. So you must explain what each thing symbolizes. Okay, that's how you get it correct. So the fact that they are toasting means what? Who do these people symbolize? They symbolize the politicians, right? The politicians of the government. And the fact that they say let's drink a toast to the most expensive city in the world means that what? It symbolizes that they prioritize, right, economic growth. Okay, when you talk about globalization policies, the priority for the government is on economic growth. So the fact that they are toasting here actually, right, symbolizes that politicians are prioritizing economic growth and the need to earn more money rather than help people to survive, right? Okay, so 10 most expensive cities in the world. So where's the sarcasm here? The sarcasm policies are working. The sarcasm symbolizes that cost of living for ordinary Singaporeans is rising. That's why globalization is causing a negative impact. Okay, cartoons are rarely about positive impact, they are mostly about negative impact, so please be wary of this. Okay, let's look at another question here. If you see this type of picture, you must explain the symbolism. So the fact that this Singaporean is pushing the worker, right, away, and this worker actually symbolizes the foreigner, right? So what does this symbolize? This symbolizes that workers are being displaced by foreigners who are taking their jobs. Okay, please write the word symbolism, symbolize, in your answer. Okay, same thing here. When you see the government pushing the Indian worker, it means that the government, this symbolize that the government is making excuse to hire foreigners on the basis that you need them to do the low-end jobs. Okay, in other words, the main thing here is that globalization is a negative impact on Singaporeans because things are getting worse, right? They are being displaced by the foreigners, and the government is not helping them, right? Because the government sees another angle of the story and making excuses that we need these foreigners. Okay, so explain all the symbolisms when you see it. Okay, let's look at another question paper. Now there's one here about globalization again. Okay, so here you have a rich man here sailing the boat, and here you have a man here. So how do you explain the symbolism? The fact that he's on top of the wave, right? Wave speaks of big money. So globalization has brought great benefits to the rich, right? Especially the MNCs, right? Why? Because lower production costs and bigger markets, and then hence more profits, right? So the fact that they're riding the waves means symbolize that they are earning more profits. It symbolizes that they are growing bigger, right? And who are the disadvantaged? The fact that this guy is being swallowed up by the wave caused by the rich people means that because of the action of the MNCs, right, the SMEs or the local workers, they are the ones who are negatively affected, right? Okay, negatively affected in terms of their livelihood. So the fact that swallowed symbolizes that their livelihood is affected because they increase in competition and they cannot compete with the rich who have more resources to take advantage of globalization than the poor people. So symbolism, you must say what each action, each part of the picture symbolizes. That's how you get it correct. Okay, let's see if there's another one. Okay, one more here. Not this. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so here is another cartoon about globalization again. So rich man, poor man, and this is a judge, right? Okay, this is a politician. So what does this symbolize? This symbolizes that globalization is putting a strain on the poor, right? Because they cannot compete. They cannot compete with the large MNCs, right? The large businesses or the rich people. And so what happens is that they must end up working, or they are subjected to the policies of the rich, right? Globalization has made the poor people or the SMEs, those who cannot compete, in the mercy or the subjection of the rich, of the big MNCs, right? And that's why they are suffering like this. So the gap between is not as great as I thought. It means that the government, okay, is making excuses again, right? It symbolizes that the government is making excuses, and that to them they see that this is advantageous. They see the great benefits of globalization policies, and they tend to neglect the poor. Okay, that's why they are blind to the fact that actually the gap is very big. Okay, so that's the symbolism. So you must explain this when you do the paper tomorrow. Okay, thank you.